Hey guys, this is Adam from the Dimensional Gamer Squad here, bringing you with Beast Quest Beast Review Series 12, and probably one with the coolest title for it, The Darkest Hour. Let's turn the light on, because I keep forgetting to do that before I start recording. Can't really get rid of that hideous light, but that is the outside world. Let's see if this helps. Well, at least we all know how bad my cursings are. Okay, so this is the best I can do. But, yeah. Shout out to Lucas Green for in-depth story reviews on each of these books. The reviews that he does on them helps a lot when I come to doing this. And he has told me that Series 12 is an okay series, which I agree. But I like Series 12 probably a lot more than he does. Don't know why. Probably there's something about it that he didn't like, but clearly I like it. He did say that some of the fights I would like. He didn't say which ones, but I think I know which ones he was talking about, considering they brought back some beasts which are in my top 10 for the rankings. So anyway, let's get into this review, starting off with Solak, Scourge of the Sea. Design is an 8 out of 10. Yes, I know it's a giant shark. But, as I said in the previous video, some beasts may be giant animals, but it doesn't mean I don't like them. I like the little addition it has with the diluted pupils, so it's just completely blue. And the fact that it has bone-like fins on the side and top of its body, making it very much a threat. Abilities are a 7 because it's basically what you would expect. It's really fast and its fins are actually really sharp, and that's it. It could cut through a rather tough shell, as proven when it cut through the underside of crab. Yes, the crab, like Master of the Sea, beaten by the Scourge of the Sea. Yay. Is to know which one's to bet on in a fight. Fight is a 7. No, speaking of fight, it is a 7 because of one simple thing I like to call. It's a pretty basic, quickly done fight, and Solak being beaten. Yeah, it was all right. Basically, Solak got blown up by the lightning token, which was swallowed by Solak, and then it exploded. Obviously killing Solak, but that's how the cookie crumbles. Sorry about that, that's my keys, they were in the way. And the total for Solak is a 22 out of 30. It's a good start. Fight was a little underwhelming, but it was setting up the series, which is okay. That's what every book is supposed to do. This one just did a lot better than Elko. So, okay. Second book, we have Kajin the Beast Catcher. Disclaimer, never really caught a beast. Unless you count Amictus's children as beasts. Yes, Amictus is actually in this book, which I was really happy to know about, because I actually do like Amictus a lot. Design for Kajin is a 7. Basically a giant werewolf, and I didn't really find it that intimidating or as creative as the other beasts in the series. Abilities is a 7. Pretty much the same thing. Weapons is a net, as seen right here. Sharp claws, and that is pretty much it. Abilities, what other abilities are? Yeah, really strong hearing and a really strong sense of smell, like a regular wolf would. That's it. Yeah. Fight is an 8 though, because it had the lightning token basically deafening Kajin, making his hearing useless now. And most of it was actually really cool, because it was, instead of Tom versus Kajin, it was Tom and Amictus versus Kajin, which I liked a lot, because you know I like the beast versus beast fight here. The total for Kajin is 22 out of 30. The fight was great. It involved Amictus and Kajin. it involved Invictus, and Kajin went deaf from the lightning token, which I already said. But he died a similar way to Elko, though, meaning he got knocked over, and instead of a cave spike, it was a tree trunk impaling his chest. And like Elko, it disappeared after it died. So, yay! Yeah. That's good, but at least Invictus was involved, so that's actually a really big plus. The third book is Isridia. I'm going to say Isridia because that's how I would say it. The Creeping Menace. Design is an 8 out of 10. Probably the most unique design out of all of them so far. Very intimidating, and I can see why its second word in its description here is creeping, because it's very creepy. Abilities are an 8. Virtually impossible to see in a fog. It can camouflage itself and is very silent with every step it takes. The tongue can be used as a whip as well as disperse venom out. And as proven in the prologue, it can take control of beasts as well, because it took control of Rock. So that's 3 beasts from Series 5, which have been in this series already. Shame 2 of them are ones I'm not really fond of, but at least Invictus was in it, which is great. So that's design an 8, abilities an 8, so that's okay. Time to go on to the fight, which was also an 8, because it was basically a game of hide and seek, which I said I wasn't really that fond of. But Tom had a plan. He didn't really need to use his sword and shield, because the lightning token that he had, when it smashed, it melted Isridia's skin, leaving just a pile of bones which disappeared after the smoke cleared. Leaving Isridia for dead. The total for Isridia is a 24 out of 30. It's the best beast so far in Series 12, but not really a great achievement. We're only halfway there, living on a prayer. Whoa. With all attributes being great. So that's okay, and I think I should have written down a bit more when I came to describing this video, but nope. Just that, yeah. Let's move on to Vigrash the Clawed Eagle. Okay, I'm pretty sure Lucas said this when he was talking about this one as well. That's not an eagle. Wait, what? It's not a claw. It shouldn't be called the Clawed Eagle because it's a griffin, or it's based off a griffin. So there we are. Design is an 8 out of 10. Similar reason to Isridia. Unique, intimidating, not as unique as Isridia was, but it's still really intimidating. And I like the change of colour it has from a brown fur tone and going on to black feathers there. Don't ask why I like it, but that's just my opinion. Abilities are a 7 out of 10. What you would expect, really. Quite fast in the air and on land, can fly, and also sharp claws. There we are. The fight was an 8 out of 10. It was a land battle and an aerial battle. You know I love my aerial battles. And I forgot to mention this, but Tom's shield tokens were useless in this series because the judge, which was a main villain, unexpected twist there. Not really, I kind of predicted it. But yeah, kind of not really unexpected. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Fight was an 8. Oh yeah, basically Vigrash lifted Tom into the air, and Vigrash made him fall to his death. But in Queen Romaine's castle, because now in Chaonia, Queen Romaine gave Tom the best token ever, Vespic's Wing, which did the same ability as what Arcturus Eaglefeather does. And as you know, I like Vespic, meaning I'll like that fight. And I didn't give it a 9 though, because I feel like it could have been a bit more intense with Vigrash actually attacking Tom whilst just make sure he actually dies instead of just assume he died. So, gold star to Vigrash, I guess? Total for Vigrash is 23 out of 30. It's a great design, the abilities are basic, but the fight is my favourite of Series 12 so far. Fifth book of series 12 is Mirka. I'm going to say Mirka because that's how I seem to pronounce it, and I'm not calling it Mirka. The Ice Horse. Design is an 8 out of 10. I know what you're going to say. Giant horse made of ice with fire coming out its nostrils. Really? I think it's kind of creative, really. Most people will think, okay, if fire's coming out of its nostrils, shouldn't it be melting then because it's made of ice? Yeah, that's what I thought, but apparently no. The fire is either not hot enough or the ice is very cold. But it is very intimidating. I like the little horn it has on its head as well. Abilities are 7. The clawed hooves as well gives really good grip on the ice. So it's on its tail and mane when it swishes them around can shoot spikes, either impaling his victims, which I would assume, or trapping them in an icy prison. And the horn is obviously used as a ram, which, well, I'll give you one hint to what that does. You're going to be seeing a window in your stomach, let's say. Let's say if it aims for your stomach, you'll be seeing a window there. The fight was an 8 out of 10. It wasn't as memorable as Vigrash was, or Khajiin's, or Ezrilia's. But, it basically actually had Princess Esmeralda, who is Queen Remain's daughter, basically killing Mirka herself after Tom tripped him over to fall off a bridge, because this was basically a rodeo, and when Esmeralda was controlling Mirka, they jumped off, and Tom tripped Mirka over to fall off an ice bridge to fall down in a deep chasm, which, as would most pieces of ice when it falls from a certain height, it will shatter into millions of pieces. So that's what actually happened, and that is how Tom defeated Mirka. Oh yeah, Lena was trapped in an icy prison, so that's probably why I didn't talk about her much in that book. Total is 23 out of 30 though. Unique design with obvious flaw, but dealt with, not really explained, but clearly shown how it is dealt with not being able to be melted by the fire nostrils. The token was not as useful as the others, but it added suspense, because all the token did, the purple lightning token I should say, just made a crack in the bridge, and Tom just had to break it to make Mirka fall to his death after making him trip over onto it. I was going to say what colour each lightning token was used in this for added helpfulness, but in this last book, it didn't exactly say which colour was used, so how am I supposed to know? I only got the cards from Khajiin and Ezrelia, so unless I give a random colour, I don't know. That's why I generally can't remember what the red lightning token did against Vigrash. I think it just probably made him unable to fly for a bit, but I'm not sure. I know the token in Ezrelia melted the flesh. The white one in Khajiin deafened it, the blue one exploded Solak, and the purple one made a crack on a bridge. The one in Karma, I'm going to say Kamar now, was used to add fuel to a flying contraption that the scouts called Doc. Yeah, what's that? Doc. Made, and that's it. Design for Kamar though is a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I know, it's probably a giant spider, but I find its design very creative and very intimidating. Yeah, you can't see his face, but that's supposed to be the tension about it. Yeah, the face is beast. We actually never saw part spider, part man beast before until now, and this is the only one that I know of that's left. I find it, as I said, intimidating, and rather creepy, really. Very intriguing as well. Probably nowhere near the level of Vespic cool, but it probably might make my top 10, but I'm not sure. I might need to have some more thinking time about that, but when I do my next ranking, you'll either see in part 2 or part 1. What? Part I don't know when I'll do my ranking, but in one of the last two parts. The abilities are 7. Obviously, the whip is a weapon. Rather agile, apparently, according to the book. And virtually indestructible. And also, the web it can shoot out is very strong. Maybe as tough as I don't know what's strong but still breakable. Maybe like thin sheets of metal, but not as flexible. I'm not sure. But now we're going to go on to the fight, where probably the most unique fight and probably the most ironic way for Kamar to die. Kamar was not beaten by Tom. Kamar was tripped over by Storm and Silver, and because it went from a confined area that was inside a cave to the open area where wind gushes to the people and beast, Kamar's wounds actually started opening and his blood started seeping out of his wounds, causing him to die. So if anything, the wind actually killed him. Tom was useless in that. No, I'm joking. Tom was actually really good in that fight. He tried his best to kill a beast, but it's Kamar that gets the final blow. Time to go into the totals. Designs are a total of 48 out of 60. Good start. Abilities 43 out of 60. I forgot to do the totals for Kamar. Let's go back to that. Total for Kamar is 24 out of 30. Best beast of Series 12. Design is creative and the fight was unique. Because that's the only time I remember seeing the weather beating a beast. And something as simple as the wind. That's probably a bit weak on the beast side, but it's still really cool. Now total. Designs, as I said, 48 out of 60. Good. Abilities, 43 out of 60. Not as good, but still good. The fight's 47 out of 60. Put that all together and we have 138 out of 180. Tied for second highest score with Series 11, but I'll say this series is a lot better. And that's not exactly a big achievement because, well, this one's an independent series with an apocalypse, basically, with 3 well-known kingdoms colliding together, that being Avantia, Gwildor and Chaonia. I'm not sure what Lucas Green was talking about when he said that all of the kingdoms are coming together, including Gorgonia, maybe Henkra and Seraph, but no, it's just those 3. Just those 3, and if another one was said, I would have wanted to see at least each beast on each kingdom. I'm aware there are 7 kingdoms we've been introduced to so far, but 6 beasts. Ignore Seraph because that's up there. I would have wanted to see at least 1 beast on each realm if all of them were coming together. But no, I don't really care. This was actually a really good series. Now let's do my own personal rankings. Now, if this was just on design-wise, the loser would be Khajiit. But no, loser for this one is Solak. It wasn't as intriguing as the others. I get it was just setting up the story and having the judge. Oh, I hate that judge. Taking away most of Tom's powers, 11 out of 18, which he collected in the first 18 books. Those being the shield tokens and all the jewel tokens apart from Torgal's. We learn that the judge took all of his powers away apart from the golden armor and the jewel for a reason. The jewel, not because he didn't see it or notice it, is because he wanted the beasts. He wanted to know that Taladon wasn't the man he thought he was, which was actually really good, and that's probably why it's one of my favourite seasons. Second worst is, well, honestly, all of them are great. Khajiit is next. If I was to say one negative thing about Khajiit, it's probably the design not being as creative, but I loved the Amictus versus Khajiit fights. I liked that Khajiit went deaf, got pretty much one of its most important attributes gone. And I like that Khajiit was basically purposely annoying Amictus by killing her babies. How mean could you get? Third worst is Isridia, the Creeping Menace. I'm pretty sure you know which pattern this is going in now. So far, this is the order in which I read them in. So I think you know which one's coming next. But I'm just going to say, no, that's not the case. Isridia was an amazing book. And after this one, each book just got better and better. With the exception of one, but that was still better than this one. Like I said, the only downside is that hide and seek thing. I wasn't a big fan of that. But I had to give it some credit. All these books were great, and they all focused on Taladon not being the man he thought he was, because they kept saying, the son of Taladon must die. Third best is Mirka the Ice Horse. I know what some people are going to say. Why is Mirka this high up? You said the same thing about Karaka with Series 9. And this is the same excuse. It may not look great on the cover, but it's still really cool. I like the story behind it. The fact that it was basically a heist to save Princess Esmeralda for the story. And the Beast. I really liked it, and I thought it was very creative that they didn't really give, but shown an obvious flaw, but they didn't explain how it wasn't a weakness. Second best is probably Vigrash. Not because of the Vespic Wing, but because we actually got to see proof that Taladon was not the man Tom thought he was when they were describing of what Taladon did to Vigrash. Basically, that he made him bleed out, and then as soon as he was about to come close to death, he trapped Vigrash in a lightning token. Which I thought was very grim, and I did not see that coming. If this was a dark series, Lucas Green's in Series 13 would be a lot darker, so I'm actually really interested to read them now. But yeah, that's Vigrash here, and I think you all know which one's the best one. Obviously, yet again, I lost count how many times the finale was the best book. Kamar was an amazing book, probably, like I said, probably close to one of my favourites. I like the detail it gave of its non-existent face, having only one eye socket, a cross scar on the other eye, no nose, no mouth, just anchor shaped as well. Oh my god, that is really, that's going to scar some people when reading this. Like, this is set for 8 to 12-year-olds. I could picture an 8-year-old reading this and go like, oh my god, they're going to have nightmares because of this. Let's learn the way that it was basically tortured to die by bleeding out from the weather. That is grim, but I like it for that. Oh my god, I don't see why so many people are not really fans of this series. I like it. Definitely the darkest hour, but does it deserve the darkest hour? Because Solak was just setting it up, which is okay. It started going really dark with Vigrash, because that's when the description of what Taladon did to these beasts actually came into play. I'm losing my voice right now, so I'm going to need to end this video, but longest beast review now. Finally, it beats in Series 4. I am not sad about that. Anyway, that is all for this time. If you liked what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe. Press that little notification bell down in the corner below to keep up to date with more of these videos if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.